with you a book that's been really helpful for me in my work. And if you work at all with ceremony or ritual around death and loss, it may be helpful for you too. It's called The Healing Wisdom of Africa, Finding Life Purpose Through Nature, Ritual, and Community. And it's by Malidoma Some. And Malidoma was born in the Dagara tribe of Burkina Faso in West Africa. So he grew up immersed in that tradition. And he was also a very well-trained Western academic. He had this capacity to bridge. And sadly, he died in probably January or the end of 2021. And we really lost a really powerful teacher. He had this capacity to articulate for Western people what was happening, particularly in his indigenous tradition. So the book is fantastic. I recommend it in many ways. But I'm going to share just a little bit about it that I think is helpful if you are thinking about designing a ritual. And he talks about the difference between maintenance rituals and radical ritual. And radical ritual is ritual to restore balance when balance has been lost. It's a restoration of wholeness, of equilibrium. And perhaps that balance and equilibrium was lost because there's some affliction, either internally within a person, in their emotional or physical or spiritual selves, maybe between people in the land and the spirits. There's some loss of equilibrium. So there needs to be an intervention to restore that. And death and initiation, which are very related, require a kind of radical ritual. What's lost in the equilibrium there is that developmentally something has changed. The person we love isn't here anymore. That's just happened in the physical world. But how do we adjust internally? What's the energetic transformation we need to make to be able to be with that? In an initiation ritual, we're developing in the outer world as an adult, as a parent, but what helps us in the internal world catch up? Malidoma talks about how funerals are radical rituals. He says that funerals are radical rituals primarily because they aim at unloading the huge emotional flood stored in people's souls as a result of the sudden parting of a loved one. The death of a loved one leaves an energy thread that binds the living with an emotional debt. It is as if the thread that ties people together becomes a source of pain when someone dies. In order to heal from it and to free both parties, we must let go of the thread. It is difficult to release the thread without a major ritual intervention. There's a big energy transformation required. So those are radical rituals. They restore wholeness when wholeness has been disrupted or interrupted or lost, when deep healing is needed. The other kind of ritual is a maintenance ritual, and they're daily or regular practices that help us stay balanced and in equilibrium when we've had it restored. So brushing your teeth is a kind of maintenance ritual for your physical body. Daily spiritual practice is a maintenance ritual for your spiritual body. So whether that's individual or it happens with a community, going to church, attending other religious organizations or centers is a kind of maintenance ritual. Even things like birthday parties or holiday dinners, solstice celebrations, equinox celebrations, things that bring us into an ongoing alignment with the larger forces around us, community, the spirits, the land, the ancestors, the mystery. And the two rituals I think are useful to think of the two kinds of rituals when we're designing. Is this designed to maintain or is this designed to restore? Is this a continuation kind of ritual or is this a radical ritual to reconfigure in a deep way? I really recommend Malidoma's book. I hope you find it helpful.